2, 3, 4.
Hey, Willie Thomas, we do this once more.
All right, one more time there, Mr. Smulyan.
How you doing?
I'm great, man. I sure enjoyed our little session the other day.
That was a ball. I had such a good time.
Yeah, I got a lot of comments. People saying, "Wow, that's great, man! Like, what can how can we find out some more about this vocabulary game and building these patterns?" And they kind of wonder, where do you get all of that stuff from? And your information that will soon be out about listening and transcribing and
sure,
all of that is a part of this. Gary has been working listening to music for years, right, Gary?
Oh man, since I was a kid, sure. And there's no secret. Like I said before, there's no magic pill. It's a matter of you need your ears and you need some recordings, and you can learn how to play. It's real. It's as simple as that.
It is, and it all starts with getting just some simple ideas. Like, I was just thinking, the way we were doing that then is how the melody starts helping you build. Like, I'll give you a little example of that.
2, 3, 4.
So, Gary, that was just simple little melody making and playing off of that melody, changing the rhythms a little bit, getting the feel and the sound, and I was laying for that half-step change, and but my ear told me it was okay, and so that's kind of like a simple way to start building vocabulary. That's why Bird always, these cats, man, you got to learn those melodies, and if you learn the lyrics, that's great. Now, another thing is learning to play off of these simple scales. How many different keys are in this tune or scales, Gary?
It's a very simple piece. Just two scales, F and G flat. And you can, with those two scales, you can come up with some pretty nice little melodic ideas and rhythmic ideas on this tune.
Play a couple for them. Just simple little motif type things with just scale stuff.
It's, if you can just play off the scales and come up with something really nice.
Cool, do it.
2, 3, 4.
So, Gary, yeah, that's it, man. Like, simple, beautiful, nice lines with the melody. You can play up and down those scales. And then what I always do sometimes, once I get the scales going, then I'll start trying to package these things with rhythms. I'll take a simple rhythm like do-do-do-dot, ba-ba-do-bop, boo-ba-do-dop, and maybe run that up and down a scale. Let me try a little bit of that.
2, 3, 4.
easy to do.
Well, you're just, it's thematic improvisation. It's just, you're taking coming up with a little theme and a little melody and developing it and using it as the basis for the rest of your solo. I mean, that's a really great tool that anybody who's improvising any level can use as a device to create a solo that's logical and they make sense.
And if you're a player already a little bit, one of the next things you're going to obviously want to start thinking about is maybe a little double time.
Sure.
Like boodle-doo-dee-da. Why don't you do a couple licks with some double time with this?
2, 3, 4.
All right. You can write some of those licks down for me, dude. Yeah, that's it, man. You start those, and I would even think about maybe like what I do, like in my lesson pack, I use some of this. You can find this tune in actually lesson 2, but in lesson 3, when I start with these embellishments, that's a great way. What I do to start with the double time stuff really gets me right off the bat, and it's just simple little things around these tonal centers. I'll use my pentatonic pairs and I'll embellish them with some double time. All right, let's try it.
Yeah, let's hear that.
2, 3, 4.
Like that kind of thing, just almost like out of your exercise book, you know? People don't realize how much of the stuff that you practice in all of your closé or arbans or all this stuff, you can turn that right into jazz vocabulary.
Man, you could also do like, I'll show you this other thing. You could just take the, the arpeggios of the tune and just use little half-step approach notes to each chord tone and come up something, that's kind of chromatic sounding like that.
Yeah, why don't you try that? And that is a lot easier for you to say than to play, because those are hard. But those are the kind of things that you take to the shed, you spend your time on, and hey, none of this vocabulary comes free, right, Gary?
No, you got to work at it. But what you can do to practice that, you can just kind of go up the chord scale and take each arpeggio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and practice the half steps like that, right? And et cetera, et cetera. But I'll put the 7th in there too.
And if you got a problem doing it in your mind, there's always a piece of manuscript, pencil, paper, and a pencil around, and sit down and work out a few of these things. So anyhow, we've got some more stuff, and this probably some pretty good information on this little tune.
Sure.
And we got another one maybe we can get to. What do you think?
Sure, let's try. But, the thing is, it's okay to play something that's simple and pretty. Now, it doesn't have to be complicated, and there doesn't have to be, a lot of notes. And, I mean, the hardest thing in the world for me is to try and play a melody that makes sense and that has some kind of beauty and logic to it. That's the hardest thing.
That's it. That's the hardest thing for all of us, except for Charlie Parker. And remember that bird
lives.
All right. See you soon.
Okay, Willie.